All right. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the episodic discussion of Dragon Ball games. We have a lot of people here, a lot of DBZ fans, and I'd like to introduce them all. So we are going to start with Mr. Devil Hunter James. Introduce yourself, good sir.
How's it going, guys? Devil Hunter James here, and I am a pretty big Dragon Ball nerd.
Next, we have the one and only Mr. SSJ God. Introduce yourself, good sir.
All right, so what's going on, guys? I am the Super Saiyan God, and I love Dragon Ball Z.
Next, we have Mr. Nico. Introduce yourself, good sir.
What's up, guys? I am the Real Eternal. Nice to meet you. I'm also a Dragon Ball Z fan.
He's dead? Question
Or
mark?
Dragon Ball fan.
Can you hear us, James?
Oh, I know why. Hold on. I know why. Never mind. Continue.
Okay, so next we have Mr. Drillbit. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hi guys, I'm Drillbit777, and I've been a huge Dragon Ball Z fan for a really long time.
Next we have Mr. BMC. Introduce yourself, good sir.
I'm Mr. BMC, and I'm the only guy with Mr. in his name, all right? So.
Next we have Mr. Kaneki. Introduce yourself, good sir.
My name is Kaneki, and fuck you for getting rid of Goku Black.
Ugh.
And I guess you can call me the one and only Mr. Renegade Operative here. We're going to get into these questions. I'm going to have Mr. Devil Hunter James read off question number 1 for you guys.
All right. So, number 1 is, what was your experience with Dragon Ball licensed video games? Express your opinion about how they progressed through the years. I jumped in at Tenkaichi 1. I played a little bit of Budokai, like the originals, but I didn't like them as much. I felt Tenkaichi kind of fit Dragon Ball better. But yeah, that's my first experience.
Yeah, I'm going to say for me, it was Tenkaichi 2. I started off there. It was really good. I really enjoyed the hell out of that game, and Tenkaichi 3 seemed to take it to a whole new level with just having...
Are we recording now?
Yeah, we're recording. With having like so many characters and everything. That's what I really enjoyed about it. I played a little bit of Budokai 2 and 3 as well. Great games. I had to wrap my head around some of the mechanics, but they were pretty good for the time when I was a kid. And I just kept playing like those two series like interchangeably. I want to get into Xenoverse very bad. You have no idea. I definitely want to get Xenoverse too. So my experience with the Dragon Ball games have been over the years, over time. I just want to get into more stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So who else wants to go next?
I could go next.
Go ahead.
Well, my experience with the Dragon Ball Z games is I actually started the first Budokai game on PS2, and then every year I would always watch out to see what would come out next. Then I played Budokai 2, and then Budokai 3, which is still my all-time favorite game. I would say it's probably the perfect DBZ game since they nailed everything right. And then everything after that felt like it got gradually worse. Granted, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is probably the lightning in the bottle, but the newer games really haven't interested me that much like Budokai 3 did.
So, Mr. Nico, how about you?
My experience. My first Dragon Ball game was Sagas.
Wow.
When I was really hella young, my friend gave it to me, but the game that I most played was Ranger Blast 2 and Ultimate Tenkaichi. I played a bit of Xenoverse, but I haven't beaten it yet, so I would say it's pretty good over the years. I don't know how much to say.
Mr. Brendan, I guess he could take his turn.
What's the question we're on again?
Number 1.
Number one. My experience, the very first Dragon Ball game I ever played was probably Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and still probably one of my favorites to this date. I just love the amount of characters they had from all sides, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT. That's the only game up to date, that came out in recent years that had that besides Xenoverse, but Xenoverse don't have the Dragon Ball characters, only Z, GT, and Super now. So, overall, I love what they're doing with the Dragon Ball games. For sure, the most recent years, we had a lot of bad ones like Battle Z, Ultimate Tenkaichi. But we had a lot of good ones like Ranger Blast 1 and 2 and the Xenoverse games. So overall, it's a spotty history. It's not perfect though, but it's a great Dragon Ball fighting games overall.
Mr. SSJ God, how about you?
All right, so I'm not sure who said it. I think it was James, but I would have to agree with him and say that Budokai 3 is definitely my favorite Dragon Ball Z game. Now, I've been playing Dragon Ball Z games since Ultimate Battle 22. I don't know if any of you guys played that.
I've heard of it, but I never played it.
Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22.
Never heard of it.
Right, well, it's, to be honest, it's a really bad game. But,
Yeah.
Back when, we were kids and all, it didn't really matter as long as it was Dragon Ball Z. But, so, I really enjoyed the Budokais. I thought, for a trilogy, that it's one of the, best improvements. Because if you look at Budokai 1, then the Budokai 2, then the Budokai 3, like, there was a huge difference. It's almost completely different. Then I did enjoy the Tenkaichis, albeit the first one I didn't enjoy too much.
The
second
first one's kind of rough.
Yeah, and I like the story with the second one. They had a lot of missions and things to do. And then the third one, with the character roster and all that, it was the gameplay mechanics were so much better. And then there might be time to talk about this later, but there's been like a huge kind of I don't want to say decline, but it's been all right. So we have really good games, and then there was a time when Sagas came out and Super Dragon Ball Z came out. That these are just kind of bad games, and I almost thought Dragon Ball Z was done for. Like once Super Dragon Ball Z came out, I thought that was it for Dragon Ball Z games because it was just terrible. And I think that came out after Tenkaichi, but then they picked it back up with the later Tenkaichis, and then going on to the next gen consoles with Burst Limit and Raging Blast. I thought those were pretty good. And then you had that kind of time period with Ultimate Dragon Ball or Ultimate Tenkaichi, and Battle of Z, which then again kind of. I thought Dragon Ball Z was done after that, but then they picked it back up with Xenoverse, and I played the Xenoverses and I enjoy them a lot.
So, Mr. BMC, what is your experience with Dragon Ball games?
So I first played Budokai Tenkaichi 3 as a kid, and after that I was almost never home. So I played almost every single handheld one up to the Supersonic Warriors 2, and then I got back into console games like Raging Blast 2 and Xenoverse 2. I am just super happy I've never played Dragon Ball GT Final Bout because I've heard that was awful.
Yeah.
Super Dragon Ball Z is essentially like the PS2 version of Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, except without the huge character roster.
I mean, the Final Bout has one saving grace. It's the soundtrack, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I played most of the handheld ones like the Boost Fury ones, the Supersonic Warriors 1 and 2. There was like Goku's Adventure where you played as the like regular Dragon Ball. And I loved all the games ever since, which is weird because I didn't know there were games until like 5 years after watching the anime.
Yeah, Boost Fury and Supersonic Warriors, I thought those were really well done.
They were.
And Legacy of Goku as well.
So, Drillbit, do you go?
Yeah, I already went.
Okay, so I think we can move on to question number 2, and this is talking about the best and worst Dragon Ball game you have played to date and why. For me, personally, the best is obviously Budokai Tenkaichi 3, no contest. I think that game expanded on so much. It added so much as well with the what-if stories, which was very, very pristine and great for them to do. Add content from GT, all this other stuff, Dragon Ball, and have just the biggest cast of characters I ever seen for a Dragon Ball game. So for worst, I have to say Final Bout, even though I have some, love for it in terms of what they tried to do. The game's combos are just absolutely horrendous. They don't really work too well.
What combos?
There are combos with certain characters you can do, but the fact that the inputs are so convoluted and it doesn't work out too well in terms of damage, in terms of the way you perform them, it's not a good game. So I like the soundtrack. I like what they tried, but I don't have any love for that game in particular when it comes to being of good quality. It's just bad. Maybe, you'll love some stuff like the music, but you won't love the game overall. So that's how I feel about that. So, Mr. SSJ God, best and worst Dragon Ball games and why?
All right. As I said it earlier, for me, the best Dragon Ball Z game is Budokai 3 because I think for its time, I don't think we saw a fighting game that, had the dynamics of Budokai 3 for that time. And just how much it improved from the previous Budokais. And the fact that, you could fly around and do kind of some side things as well. And I played the shit out of that game when I was younger, so that might be another, factor into why I like it so much. As far as the worst game, I would say Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, but I'm going to have to say Super Dragon Ball Z because of the fact that, it came out after all the Budokais came out, after Budokai Tenkaichi came out. The gameplay mechanics itself was just horrible. The combos were garbage. To be honest, it didn't even look like a Dragon Ball Z game. I thought that it was it was almost like kind of like a fan-made game. I don't know. Maybe it was a side project and they just decided to come out with it. But for that time, there's no excuse that they came out with something like that. Just an awful game.
So, Mr. Devil Hunter James wanted to go next, so you have the floor, good sir.
Oh man, if I got a story with fucking Dragon Ball Sagas, that game is so bad. I saw the commercials for it and I thought it looked cool in concept because it was an adventure Dragon Ball beat 'em up, I guess. But then you play it and wow, the combat is horribly clunky. The enemies are really slow and they're all kind of do the same sort of moves to you. The boss fights are a joke because you could just spam Kamehameha and all that stuff and they can't really do a lot to you. The worst thing about that game might be the final boss with Cell. Because the way they did it was you have to stay in Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to damage Cell or else you won't do anything. But if it runs out in that mission, you can't get it back.
It's timed?
Yes, the Saiyan forms are Super Saiyan forms are timed, which is one of the dumbest things I have ever seen in a Dragon Ball game.
That's extremely weird.
I don't understand. Basically, the way it works is as long as you keep hitting them, like you keep damaging something, the meter will go up slightly. So you have to keep it up, and it's really dumb because the enemies there aren't that many of them to keep it going. That game is just, and there's co-op, but it just kind of makes the game more broken because then you can abuse a lot of the mechanics. It's just not a very good game at all.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
James, what do you think about best Dragon Ball game in your opinion?
Best Dragon Ball game. Well, I'm enjoying Xenoverse 2 an awful lot. They really fixed the melee combat. But if I had to pick my favorite I played as a kid, Raging Blast 1. I love that game so much. Especially the character customization with the abilities. And the what if stories. Those are awesome.
Mr. Drillbit, you wanted to go next.
Oh, yeah. Well, for my best Dragon Ball Z game, I may have said it, but I think Budokai 3 is probably the perfect Dragon Ball Z game, mainly because it got everything right. If you compare Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 and 2 to 3, you can tell Budokai 3 is immensely faster. They made the combos faster. You can actually teleport now. You can even dodge your opponent's attacks if you inputted the guard at the right time. Also, there was the fact that transformations were faster, ultimates were more crazier than ever. There was a cool story mode where you can actually explore the overworld, and there was so much side content to do, like getting the Dragon Balls and even getting Super Saiyan 4 and all of that. Also, you had the Dragon Arena, which was fun to mess around with, and you could level up your character, and it was kind of like it had some RPG elements in it too, where you could level up your stats and stuff, and you could even share the codes online, which I thought was really neat. I just thought, honestly, for me, it's what a Dragon Ball Z game should be. Up in your face, cool combos, and just all around craziness. That for me is my favorite Dragon Ball Z game. Probably the worst is, I would say Sagas, but Devil Hunter James already pretty much said all this shit I hated about it. So I guess second worst would probably be I guess probably would be maybe Taiketsu, mainly because it's just a really broken fighting game.
I've seen that. It is bad.
Like if you look at the graphics, it just looks like it looks like a crappier version of Killer Instinct because they tried to make it all,
Claymation-y, I think.
Yeah, it just doesn't mesh well with the Dragon Ball Z characters, and it just looked incredibly awkward.
Jesus. All right. So before Kaneki goes, Mr. SSJ God had a point that he wanted to elaborate on. So could you continue, sir?
All right. So I just wanted to talk just a little bit more about Super Dragon Ball Z. I don't think anyone here has played it. Has anyone played it before, or even know what I'm talking about?
I have not.
I have not.
I've heard of Super Dragon Ball Z actually. Like in my opinion, I don't think it's bad. It's like probably the first Dragon Ball Z game they tried to make into a serious fighter, considering it had like combos similar to Tekken, and you had to do like quarter circle and dragon punch inputs in order to do the moves. Maybe it just didn't mesh well with Dragon Ball Z, and I always thought the combat looked a little awkward, but they had the right idea there.
Yeah, I mean, I saw what they were trying to do, but I feel like they kind of failed in trying to put it all together. I mean, you look at some of the mechanics and combos of the game. It doesn't really look like, a game that came out back in 2007. It looks more like one of the first PlayStation games with just upgraded graphics. As far as the, game modes and things, there were only I think 4 game modes. There wasn't even a story mode, really. The story mode was I think it was 7 rounds, and you fought against opponents, and the 7th person was always Cell, and the 6th person was always Frieza, but before that it was just kind of like a mix. I think Chi-Chi was even one of them.
She was added in the console versions.
I don't even know why that was thrown in there. And then they had a survival mode, which was, you fight for as long as your health remains. But other than that, I thought the training mode was pretty bad as well. What else did they have? They had a versus mode where you could, fight against someone locally. But I don't know. I just thought to go from Budokai 3, all the Budokais, then Budokai Tenkaichi, then to go back to, a game like Super Dragon Ball Z, I just felt like they went back 50,000 steps.
Yeah, but you have to understand, it is just a port of an arcade game, so it is going to be kind of bare bones.
And I would have been perfectly okay if they would have released it as, that, but the fact they tried to release it as a full game, at full price, it was kind of just,
it does sound like wasted effort.
Arcade game, that it would have been fine. But it was just the fact that they tried to, sell it as a full game, and that's what kind of, got me.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It should have been probably a budget title since it looks so bare bones.
It sounds like wasted effort, but we're gonna get back on point with Mr. BMC. So, Mr. BMC, could you do your point really quickly?
I didn't. That wasn't me. I didn't have a point.
Did you go already?
No.
Okay.
Did Kaneki go?
Oh, Kaneki, go ahead.
Wait,
Slip
on
my
what?
mind. On your best and worst Dragon Ball game.
Oh yeah. The best Dragon Ball game to me was the Raging Blast series, because I think even though Budokai 3 did everything on top, to me it didn't feel like I was playing a Dragon Ball Z game. To me, I feel like Budokai played differently, while Raging Blast, to me, it actually played like if I was actually legitimately playing a Dragon Ball Z game and what to expect. Now, the worst, oh man, out of all the horrible Dragon Ball Z games, to me, the worst is the Ultimate Tenkaichi. And one reason why is because
rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors controls. You can't even play the game. It's like at this point, are you even playing Uno? Or you're playing Dragon Ball Z, or you're playing Uno?
You know what's even dumber?
What?
There is a thing I managed to abuse in Ultimate Tenkaichi, now that you bring it up, where I think if you max charge, you get a little bit of armor.
Oh my
So
god.
that leaves you a freebie to do a heavy hit, which will go into the whole fucking slideshow movie cutscene of beating them up, and you can just keep doing it and they'll die.
The worst
Hey,
part
Brandon,
is
I know what you're gonna say. Dragon Ball Connect.
No.
But that seems too easy because it's just a port of Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi, except with Connect controls.
See, I called it. You
and
You can really do the Kamehameha.
and you know what? I don't know if anyone had this problem with Ultimate Tenkaichi, but the AI took forever to respond. I'm like, what? So I pressed a button and it took you forever to even like either counter or press another button? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I've never played it, and I definitely don't
Oh,
want to
man.
play it.
I own this piece
I
of garbage.
played it, but
The
it was a
worst,
long time
the
ago.
worst thing, by the way, probably. I know I'm like jumping in on Kaneki, but I don't want to say it. Kaneki, do you remember the how they tried to combine the Budokai fighting melee with the Tenkaichi beam stuff?
The fuck?
Do you remember how they switched between if you got close to each other, if you're in there's ranged and then there's combat mode.
Okay.
In range mode, it would be you shoot Kai blasts like it's Tenkaichi at each other.
Oh, fuck that!
And then if you get close, you do a thing where you clash, and then you go back into Budokai fighting. It's so stupid.
Oh, fuck that.
So, Mr. BMC, you want to go off your little points of best and worst Dragon Ball games?
Okay, so I never got the royalty of playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3 all the way through. I played it like once a month for like a year. But I was also lucky enough to never play the bad games. So my best favorite game has to be Raging Blast 2, solely because I got to choose 5 Cybermen and beat up a whole team of Vegito, Goku, Gogeta, all these super OP characters because they're all even. The worst game I think so far was the Dive played, or the Boost Fury and all those Goku Legacy for the GBA. Just because they're kind of really, really slow. Just really slow. Have any of you played them?
I played
have-
them, and
Yeah,
I would
I have.
disagree.
I played Legacy of Goku 2 and Boost Fury. I would agree that Legacy of Goku 1 is garbage, but the other 2 games aren't bad. I think Boost Fury is probably one of the better GBA Dragon Ball Z games.
That is right.
I did like that one, but we're talking about one game, and I guess I did say all G. But you know what I mean.
I would
Just
have.
that
yeah.
one.
I would have disagreed
Yeah.
to an extent.
Mr. Pirate King, Brandon Williams, your choices. How's that Dragon Ball Connect though?
Garbage. Awful. Garbage.
You've played it?
Played it, man. I lived in it.
You poor son of a bitch.
Dude, I was like... Also, the second worst now will think will definitely be Battle of Z. So that game is trash.
I would
That
disagree.
game
The
is
only
so
good... 11?
Go ahead.
So the only good thing about that game is they gave us Super Saiyan God as a playable character for the first time, and of course the red Kamehameha. But now for the best, I have honestly 3 because I can't pick between these 3 games. It's Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for being my first, and still one of my favorites in terms of like character variety. Raging Blast for like a big roster in general for all the Z characters, and that's Super Saiyan 3 Broly and Vegeta. I mean, what else can you have for that? And Tenkaichi Tag Team. I doubt many of you heard that title before,
Yep.
but that's
I played
the
it.
game.
I
I've heard
played
of
it. I actually played through the whole thing.
That game was awesome. I love the tag team that's there for it, and the revival and whatnot. It was like Budokai 3, but on crack with tag team. But that's just me.
All right,
So, yeah,
so
that's it.
I'm gonna need Nico to go last, and I want you to read off the next question, Brendan.
Okay. Like
So
right now?
go ahead. Yep, go ahead, Nico.
All right, so my best one would say Raging Blast 2 because I enjoyed the gameplay well back then. That's my only reason. And for my worst one, I know a couple of you said deep sagas, but what I want to point out about sagas because many times when you fight a boss, you could just how do I put this? I'm terrible at speaking, but there's a thing where you just never finish a combo, and you could just keep going on and on until the health meter of the boss is already done.
Be a loop.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
stop mid combo and then go again, and then stop and then go again.
I abused
Yep.
it so bad.
That sounds really
Still a
cheap.
bad game though.
It's
Yeah, but you kind of are required because the bosses do like to spam their energy attacks a lot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of
I'm
course.
sorry, but
yeah. I mean,
Nah,
if,
it really
I'd
depends.
say if like you had a friend to play with, then it was kind of fun. But to just constantly play it over and over again by yourself is a little insane.
So, Mr. Pirate King, Brandon, read off number 3, please.
Number 3. In regards to Dragon Ball fighting games, what was your favorite transformation to see within those games in motion? Honestly, all the Super Saiyan transformations in Raging Blast 1 and 2, because they put, well, in all transformations technically, because they put a lot of cinematic focus into them to make them like the show.
Mine is a simple. I'm not going to dwell too long, but Super Saiyan 3. I always like seeing that in the Budokai Tenkaichi games. It looked really cool, especially with the aura too. And I would say another transformation in Super Saiyan 4. I just like how they captured that dark orange aura on the characters and the lightning and everything. That was fucking cool.
On a side note, Ren, did you know in Xenoverse 2 you can become a Super Saiyan 3 with your custom character?
No, I did not. Hello,
Okay.
phone.
Yeah, you can.
It's really cool, and you don't lose ki like the first game. But
Yeah, you can stay in form.
Yeah, but that's mine. I think those two transformations itself are just fucking amazing. Super Saiyan phone.
Well, you'll get to be Super Saiyan 3 in Xenoverse 2 all you want.
Can I go?
So yeah, go ahead.
My favorite was the when Babidi transformed Vegeta to Majin Vegeta. I thought that was pretty awesome to see. In the
Oh
game.
yeah, wasn't that a capsule too? Like
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Budokai games, it kind of sucks because you could only activate it when you had 1 bar of health left.
Sounds like a last resort thing in that game.
Good thing they changed that later on.
Yeah, but you do get an insta kill ultimate move, the final
Yeah,
explosion.
if the
You get
opponent-
Final Atonement.
That's if the opponent didn't block or avoid it.
Yeah. Yeah, if they don't block it, it's
They
an
will-
insta kill.
I think from what I know, they had to get really close to you in order for that attack to work.
In Tenkaichi, if you do it, you will lose like most of your health. So it has to be like when you know it's going to kill them.
Let's see. Who else wants to go on this question?
I
I'll
could
go.
go.
Go ahead.
Oh.
All right, you can go first. Good.
All right. Well, for me, I might be in the minority, but I really love the Frieza transformations and Raging Blast.
That sounds like oh, you just took my answer.
Huh? Oh, I didn't hear it.
No, I thought someone was like frustrated that their answer got taken, but I might be just misconcepting. So go on.
But I love the Frieza transformations because in the Budokai games, all it would do would just be a normal transformation. Or Budokai 3, he would go into some kind of orb and then he transforms. But in the Raging Blast games, it's like in the anime where you actually see the whole transformation happening, which I thought was really nice. So that's probably one of the few things I liked about the Raging Blast games, is that they did get the transformations right.
SSJ God, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. So this is probably not many of you have thought about it or anything, but my favorite transformation would have to be pretty much all the Broly transformations. To kind of see him, transform into that huge Super Saiyan was, I don't know, it was kind of intimidating actually, and I just thought it was really done well because I'm not sure if it was the Tenkaichis or
It was.
Maybe it's the Budokais, but the background would change. You said that was the Tenkaichis.
I think for Legendary Super Saiyan, it was either Tenkaichi 2 or 3. The sky like darkens when he transforms.
Yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
So who is next?
I'll go.
All right.
Go ahead.
Keeping all Super Saiyan aside, I think my favorite transformation is the Candy transformation. Because as soon as someone went candy, you know they were fucked. And I just love beating the crap out of them when they were candy form.
Oh yeah, I remember you could do that.
Yeah, they're defenseless for a little bit.
Shit. Kaneki, did you go yet?
Yeah, I already went.
What about you, Brendan? Smash Rip.
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
All right. Here's one no one probably thought of. In I forgot which Tenkaichi they may have introduced it, unless Budokai did it first. You can do if you have Goku Super Saiyan 4 and Vegeta Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
You can actually fuse them together mid-fight
I think
into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
I think Budokai did that before, I think.
Oh, okay. I only remember it in Tenkaichi because if you did it, it was really bullshit because both your characters could have like no health and then you just transform and then you're maxed out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that does.
So
sound
yeah, the
pretty
fusion
cheap.
was the fusion transformation was hype.
Yeah, like seeing it for the first time in Budokai 2 blew my mind away because it was the first time we could ever play as Gotenks or Vegito.
Vegito, yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
king.
That's great.
I'd
What
also
about you,
like to
Nico?
add in- Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to add in, might be a little bit underrated, but some of the Super Buu absorptions, I thought those were pretty cool. Kind of that little cinematic that they would have.
Yeah. I wish they would have done more of the joke ones they did in Budokai 2 where you could absorb Tien and Yamcha.
Goku
Can't
and
you do that with
Hercule.
Hercule also?
Hercule and
Absorb
Goku.
them? Yeah.
No,
oh
so
my
you
God.
could fuse them too. You could fuse Goku and Hercule in Budokai 2, and also Tien and Yamcha, I think.
Oh god.
You got like a double scrub on there.
What was
Like-
it? What was the game? Budokai something. It was another Budokai after Budokai 3 where, you could fuse with everyone or with anyone.
Dragon Ball Fusions?
Yeah! That was Fusion City with that game.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fusions is just a glorified fanfic.
I never got to play it. How is it?
Apparently, they don't have the original Gotenks. They make like their own different fusions for everybody.
Fuck.
Really? That's strange.
Wait, so
You
they have
figured
no
would.
like original fusions?
No
Yeah.
originals?
No original. So like if Vegito, but it's not the original Vegito. Oh, Gogeta, it's not the original Gogeta. It's like Gogeta EX or something like that.
That sounds really, really dumb. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
kind
I
And then
was
the goofiest one is Cell and Krillin fused.
iffy when Pan
Oh, yeah, I
fuses
remember
with
that.
Chi-Chi. That was weird.
That was in the first Budokai, right?
Yeah, but Cell absorbed him.
Yeah, Cell absorbed him accidentally or something like that. Because he pushed 18 out of the way, right? And then Cell ended
Yep.
up absorbing him.
Thank God this is video game related. Have you
And-
seen that? Have any of you seen any of the Dragon Ball Heroes stuff?
No.
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 I've seen the opening.
Have you
Yeah,
seen? There was like
that's
one
it.
where I even like watch gameplay because I want that game to come over here. There's like one where Super 17 could absorb Android 18 and become some like transgender blonde Super 17.
That's Dragon Ball Heroes.
Did I say what did I say?
Dragon
You
Ball
said
Heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah, he did say Dragon Ball Heroes.
Oh, yeah, I thought you didn't mention it.
Yeah, they have pretty cool fusions in there. That'd be really cool if they came. But one of them was just. There's another one I forgot where like Cell could absorb every single android and he would have a different form.
That's retarded. I'm sorry.
All right, so I think we can move on to the next question. So, Mr. Kaneki, could you read that off, please?
What question?
4, I believe.
4. Ooh. What character and transformation from Dragon Ball Super would you like to see that wasn't included in Xenoverse 2? I pretty much got my character in the game. However, I want to see his transformation. And
Man,
that is what
Brandon already
just
said it.
Well, I don't care. I'm going to steal it anyway. Super Saiyan God Rose.
Oh, yeah. It's weird
I
that
think
Goku.
Super Saiyan
It's weird
Rose.
Goku Black didn't have it at all.
Mm.
What happened, SSJ God?
The reason for that being is that they didn't know about Super Saiyan Rose while they were creating Goku Black. The release day one. So they didn't really know about it, so they didn't really want to make any last minute changes and put it in. Although they did hint at it being in a future DLC.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
what I thought, too.
upcoming.
Yeah, that is going to be like DLC because by the time that arc came out, I think Xenoverse 2 was approaching completion or near complete.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say Super Saiyan Rose would be very awesome to see, and Super Trunks, that form that he has, they call it Super Trunks or whatever, where he's like he has the aura of the Super Saiyan Blue, and he has his hair spiked up. That looked really menacing, especially the deep voice. That would be really cool to see, like him shouting at people in that voice, fighting people at the same time, having different powers and stuff. So I gotta go with those two.
If I had to pick, I kind of want some of the what if characters like Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta, and Broly. Broly looks cool as shit in Super Saiyan 3. I think there is a manga or a game where he had Super Saiyan 4, but that might be too much.
That was Heroes.
That is Heroes. Okay, I thought so.
And in Raging Blast 2, I think it had Super Saiyan 3, Broly, and Vegeta.
Yeah, that's where they came from, I think.
And I think Heroes had Super Saiyan 4 Gohan too.
And of course, I want Trunks with the super plot armor form from Super.
Hey man, Ren, I'm glad they're singing in Spanish. Rose.
Jose.
Yeah, I think that's the point because there's an apostrophe on top of the E, so it sounds very Latin, Spanish, the way they're pronouncing it, Rose.
No, when are we gonna get a Spanish saying named Jose?
I don't know. Maybe when that Spanish dub comes out, they're taking forever with the English one. So
it is on the way, though.
Yeah, that is good. Anyone else have any love for some Dragon Ball Super transformations they want to see in the games?
Yeah, I'll go. Regarding the character part of the question, I would like to see Hirudegarn in Xenoverse 2.
Oh god.
Some of the other characters.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I think doing a raid quest or something with Hirudegarn as a boss, I think that'd be really fun. And also, I would like to see, even though they have it in the game, they have Super Saiyan Blue in the game. I would like to see it as a transformation instead. So like they have a Super Saiyan Blue kind of just a character, but then they have a different version, say like base Goku, base Vegeta, that have the ability to transform into Super Saiyan Blue, and you can see it in game.
So who wants to go next? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's a Raging Blast too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You were saying something, Drill Bitch?
Well, I guess maybe they could add more of the movie characters in it, or maybe they could always go back and add in the characters like Kid Goku or General Blue, and maybe even the Pilaf the Pilaf machine like they did in Tenkaichi 3. I thought those were fun.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The reason they didn't add some of those Dragon Ball characters apparently was because they couldn't fly or some bullshit.
Yeah, like I think some of them had to jump or whatever in some of the old games. I remember that very vividly too.
And well, in Tenkaichi 3, you could always give them a skill that made them fly, but without it, they would just float in the air and then fall down after.
Oh yeah, Yajirobe does that too. He'll like struggle to stay up and he'll fall on his ass.
Yeah, of course.
They gave Hercule a jetpack. Why not give?
Hercule's jetpack.
Maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah, but at least makes sense with Hercule since he's extremely rich.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe they just can't afford that shit. It's like, oh, I can't fly. Let me try to jump out of a plane. But I think we can move on to number 5. So who wants to read this off?
Hold up. Did no one's gonna say Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken?
Oh,
that's
shit.
coming. They confirmed it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. It's happening. Xenoverse 2.
DLC and free update.
That's part of the free DLC too, right?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Oh, dude, that is how you do it. That is how you do DLC. Keep it free, but keep it to something that people really want to see.
Well, sorry to interrupt. Here's the thing, though. Even though they're releasing a separate DLC, the free update contains more, surprisingly, out of the two.
Yeah, paid the extra parallel quest with Zamasu and all that.
I don't know. I know
Zamasu's coming?
Yes, he is. He is going to be.
DLC, is he?
I know he's going to be in Xenoverse for a fact. I know that. There was early footage leaked that he was already going to be in the game.
If he was DLC, I'm good because I got the season pass.
There's supposed to be parallel quests with him upcoming at some point.
Brand, you gotta add like another question just for the DLC because there's some pretty cool stuff in it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
future Gohan could be your teacher.
That's
Really?
true.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Good. Not good.
Okay, I was just gonna say I personally think the free DLC is better than the paid DLC, except the fact that the paid DLC has Kabe and Frost in it. But
So
I
Universe
think
6.
Future Gohan, from Universe 6, it has them. And I think the only master from getting the paid DLC is Hit.
Oh, that
Whereas
sucks.
for the free DLC, you have Future Gohan, you have Whis, and some other ones.
Android
Bardock.
16 is
Yeah,
one, I
Bardock.
believe.
Cooler, Android 16. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, there's 6.
That's true.
I wouldn't mind Hit as a master, man. That's pretty fucking cool. Teach
Just
how
give
to
me
be an
his coat.
assassin.
Give me his coat for my character.
You have to also have the animation where you put your hands in your pocket. That's the badass way to do
Have
it.
you seen that?
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, in Xenoverse, everywhere he moves, he always has his hands in his pocket.
When is that update again? Because
It says
Alrighty.
December 25th or 20th. 20th, not 25th.
okay.
Yep.
All right, so I think that was a good divergence. So we can move on to number 5. So who wants to read it?
I'll go since I have the game as well.
Go ahead.
If you've played Xenoverse 2 recently, what is your current opinion of it? Really good. I think they struck a good balance. I think Kaneki can agree. They fixed the melee combat immensely.
Oh, yes. They also
want my
improved the
third-
game from the first game.
I
Yeah.
want my third character. Someone help me.
What happened?
I want my third character. Someone help me stop. But it's really, really fun. I like how you cannot spam as Super Saiyan anymore. That's one huge fix that they did.
I'm glad they made it so I don't get kicked out of it every 5 seconds. That was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That and they gave all the races transformations. Even the humans, they get the Nimbus Cloud.
That's
Or Potential Unleashed.
I hear that's still OP.
Yeah, I'll stick to my Super Vegeta. Dude, the
Majin-
Saiyans are bullshit. They have like 5 different transformations.
Super Saiyan, Future Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, Potential Unleashed, and what else?
Future Super Saiyan.
I already said that, I think.
Future, regular, Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta,
Potential Unleashed. you
Potential
count that.
Unleashed 4? I swear there's 5, but I'll have to...
Kaioken?
Kaioken, yeah. There you go.
Majin was awful. I wanted to start Majins at first before I knew the transformation.
They got nerfed, actually.
They did.
Yeah, they recently got nerfed, so they're not even that good. Saiyans, it's the Saiyans and the Frieza races that are high tier.
What?
That is
Well,
true.
like,
That's all
okay,
you need, really.
the transformation was awful.
Yeah, because
Well-
it's just Kid Buu.
Boy, if you just kept spamming B, it was great. Because I used it, and I think I beat the final mission just spamming B. Because it would make him flinch, and it's like almost instant. So,
You gotta cheat to win, or in this case, spam to win.
Oh, one good
Yeah.
improvement they also made was some of the moves you can charge, and if you're a Super Saiyan, for example, and you're like above, you're at least level 2 or up, you will warp when you do charge moves.
That is true.
So you can do like warp Gallic Gun or warp what is it? Big Bang Attack, which is the most broken shit ever.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think about the other transformations. The Frieza race pretty much get a speed buff and a Kai Blast buff.
Open the golden form. Is that good?
Yeah, that's Golden Form. It's the only one they get.
Oh.
Oh no, they get Golden Form and Potential Unleashed.
well,
I think they also. I think everyone else got Kaioken as well. That was like a transformation.
Everybody has it.
yeah, they already got Potential Unleashed in Kaioken. You just gotta unlock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hear Golden Form is definitely the best for them.
Yeah.
So, would you guys recommend Xenoverse 2 to anybody?
Oh,
Is it
hell
like a
yes.
buy or a
Everybody, bye,
Yeah.
bye. The co-ops they fixed the netcode too for co-op.
Oh, okay. So that makes it even better. Infinitely online.
It's a must
One, it's super
recommend.
fun. Two, I need a friend to play with, so please get the game.
Yes, buy this game, please. Free advertising. All right, so that was pretty good. So I guess I haven't played it, so I don't have an opinion on Xenoverse 2, but I guess I'll pick it up down the line, considering what you guys said. So we're going to move on to question number 6. So could someone read that off, please?
James.
I already read it.
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right.
If they made a Budokai 4, what do you think they should do to improve the formula?
What do you mean exactly? Like the original Budokai games or Tenkaichi?
Original.
Regular.
So I would say it's kind of tough because for it to be a Budokai game, it would have to have that conventional, kind of fighting. So no open world, kind of just the, you know what I mean, like the one-on-one kind of
Traditional fighter.
Yeah, the traditional fighter camera. But I don't really know. Maybe improve the story mode. Have kind of more to it, kind of like Tenkaichi. The Tenkaichis had more to the story. Definitely more characters. I feel like Budokai 3 had a lot more characters, I do think it would have been better. What else? Maybe some online battle. I don't think there was any online battle for any of the Budokais.
Nope.
That sucked. Yeah,
they can throw that into.
What about the HD collection?
I don't think they are.
No, the
online.
HD collection didn't have online.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
just like they had to.
Yeah, it didn't have online, and they removed the soundtrack because of legal reasons.
Yep.
Yeah, and another thing I would recommend them to get a different composer. That way they don't, get potentially sued for copywriting.
Yeah.
Kenji Yamamoto. Even though I did love those, soundtracks, they were amazing. And it was just kind of disappointing in the HD collection how, due to legal reasons and blah, 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 they couldn't have that original soundtrack in the game. So
Yeah, like a lot of the songs in Dragon Ball Z Kai were just ripped from other movie soundtracks, which
I have
got
a
them in a lot
question.
of trouble.
I have a question for you guys. Why was Budokai Tenkaichi 2 removed from HD collection? Any real reason?
Budokai 2?
Yeah.
Too?
I mean, not Tenkaichi 2, the original.
I was about to say,
Budokai.
there's no HD for that.
I wish. I
Oh,
really do
Budokai
wish,
2.
though. Yeah,
I mean,
Budokai
maybe it's
2.
because Budokai 1 and 2 are too similar aside from extra characters.
That could be it, yeah.
Well, Budokai 2 wasn't really. I don't know how to say it. It was. I mean, it's like, okay, so you have Budokai 1, that's just Budokai 1. Then you have Budokai 2 and Budokai 3, whereas Budokai 3 is pretty much has everything in Budokai 2, but just better. So maybe that they just said, just put Budokai 3 in there and just screw Budokai 2. I don't know.
Yeah, because I say that because everyone says how the original Budokai 1 is so bare bones. It's kind of weird seeing that. I guess if you want to see the foundation of the series, but that's the only reason why I think they will put that in there over Budokai 2. But it is weird reasoning. I guess we could
Well,
go ahead.
that was fans really loved and cherished. Sure, you find fans that love all three of them, but Budokai 1 and 3 really stuck out. So we sort of chose those two as the ones to kind of put in this HD collection. So that's
Okay.
what I found.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't mind it if they put Budokai 2 in the collection at all. I wouldn't have minded it at all.
Because they did this before with like certain games, so I figured it was some reasoning behind it. And fan hype or people loving those games was the true reason. So,
Yeah.
but we can go back on topic. This is question number 6. I guess they could simply just make the fighting better if it's going to be one-on-one. They can enhance the quest story mode, so there's something to do outside of just fighting people either online or through the arcade mode. So they could just have you going around doing random stuff, maybe reliving some events through Super, maybe doing like tournaments like Universe 6, adding in those staples of the series that is progressing in that arc. So I think that maybe they could add some stuff from there, create some pivotal moments during the gameplay with like the moves and transformations and the additions to the content that it has to offer, and make it better as a fighting game. I think very good fluidity with the Budokai games are really important, and they need to port that over to Budokai 4 if they ever make one. So the speed, 60 FPS, all that has to be a standard.
Yeah.
And the flying, all that good stuff. Destroying the planet when you blow it up with like super crazy moves. Keep all that stuff in there. So that's what I think about that. So anyone else have any questions?
Yeah,
on
I
it?
had some thoughts on it.
I want to go next. real
Yeah,
quick.
Brandon wanted to take it. You can go after him, Drill.
Okay.
Okay, for me, I would rather have another Shin Budokai game. Like, I'm sure you guys play those on PSP, right?
I've heard of
Yes,
For
them.
me-
I played the
Yeah.
first one.
I have.
I recommend that you check out the second one because that one's better in my opinion.
I
Plus,
played that
it's
too.
technically it's kind of like Xenoverse 2 before it happened, like the story at least, the whole concept of time travel. Because you had like Goku meeting his father and of course Bardock meeting his grandson. So you had future Gohan and adult Gohan from the present meeting each other. This is a whole bunch of nonsense that came to that is just incredible. So I'd rather like have that as a Budokai 4 rather than the traditional Dragon Ball game because we already know what happens every single time with the story. So I'd rather have an original one.
Yeah, and to go back to the Shin Budokais, a lot of those fighting mechanics were very similar to Budokai 3.
Yeah, that's I guess the only time I really enjoy a Budokai game was Shin Budokai. I don't know why, but it was what was that? Oh, sorry, never mind. But yeah, I felt like that was like a more refined, Budokai 3 in my opinion.
Mr. Drillbit, it's your turn.
Yes. To add on to that, did any of you guys ever play Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit?
Yep.
Yes.
I have.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
it's pretty much Shin Budokai on consoles, and I feel like that's the direction they should have taken with Budokai. But the problem with Burst Limit was that the story mode felt kind of limited, and their roster was just not up to par with the previous game, which is why I felt it kind of got swept under the radar. It's actually made by the same people who made the Budokai games, so I thought at least with the sequel they would have tried to improve on it, but it never happened. So,
And
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so honestly, all they could really do with Budokai at this point is maybe try to make the combat a lot more faster and try to add in more crazy combos and not add in any gimmicks like drama moments or like in Burst Limit where if you like knocked your opponent out of the arena, you just mash buttons. Because the problem is that just slows down the fight and just slows down the pace. I feel like they need to just go back to roots and just go on what made Budokai 3 great and improve on it. That's what I believe should be for Budokai 4. Also bring back like the Dragon Universe thing because that's actually probably one of the best parts about Budokai 3.
All right. So if people are done with this question, we can move on to number 7. I'm going to read this off. So what was your favorite additions in the Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi series? For me personally, I guess for Tenkaichi in particular, I just liked the whole arena-based combat. It felt a lot more natural to me playing that game than it did with the 2-on-2 fighter. I mean, 1-on-1. So I think that for the most part, it worked out well, especially with the environments, the stuff you could do, stuff you could destroy. It's just the way the camera worked and all the functions. It felt really good in the Tenkaichi series. The additions was the content, actually, the replay value, and the what-if scenarios, I would say, because they put some effort into putting those scenarios there that either were fan favorites or listening to people putting in like certain scenarios that people might have enjoyed that might be straight up fan fiction. But Dragon Ball fans, they eat that up like white on rice. So I think that's good that you can just take something that was created by someone else and put it into your content. So I think that was good. The what if scenarios, most definitely for Budokai Tenkaichi and the way you could fight in there. So anyone else want to take this question?
I will.
Go ahead.
I will say for Tenkaichi, between Budokai and Tenkaichi, I know I get either shit for it or people agree. I felt like between Budokai and Tenkaichi fit Dragon Ball better to me.
Yeah, that's the
I,
thing.
I,
man.
have, I have nothing
I'm
against
saying.
Budokai.
I agree.
I think they're good games, but I think Tenkaichi captured more of what Dragon Ball was about, which is flying around, breaking all this shit. I'm trying to think. Budokai has all that, but it's too grounded to be
feels
Dragon
like-
Ballish to me.
It's too
Yeah.
It feels dated, to be honest, though.
But
And
Well,
especially with I know Xenoverse isn't Tenkaichi, but it is kind of a
It is still
evolution.
pretty
It's an
different.
evolution of Tenkaichi. I feel like it captures it a lot better, especially the character roster that they had in 3. Holy hell! So mostly the same change that Ren likes, where it's more flying around and stuff. That felt better to me.
Yeah, because you're gonna need that. I just like the level of destruction that is in arena combat.
Oh,
compared
yeah.
to like 1-on-1.
The best thing that they did, well, I think it was 2 that started it, where if you did certain ultimates, it would blow up the planet you're on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you get a stage change.
Dude, Super
Yeah.
Saiyan 4 Gogeta,
Tim?
each time you do Big Bang Kamehameha, it destroys the fucking planet.
Didn't
Yeah,
Budokai
like,
3
I
started
remember-
then?
Like I remember the first time doing that as a kid, and that just gave me chills the whole time. It was so crazy to actually see that since GT never showed it.
Bye-bye,
You know,
human race.
I think for Vegeta's Final Flash, they kind of copied it from the show.
Yeah.
They show the beam going off the planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they should do one with Kaioken times 4, Kamehameha, and Gallic Gun. That would be a sight to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one more thing. One more thing. I just remembered this. I think I don't know. Did Budokai let you start playing as the Great Apes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because the Great Apes and Tenkaichi are scary. In the first game, they are ridiculous. They have infinite super armor. You can't do rush moves to them.
That was
Yeah.
my, that was
Even
my
if it's an
pick.
ultimate, you can't do rushes.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
you just
but
fucking
certain
bounce off of them.
certain ultimates do work on great apes, like Goku's Dragon Fist.
Yeah,
That
that stuff
works.
works, but regular rush moves, you bounce right off.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised, yeah. Because it's
yeah,
an instant
because-
block.
Like Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist actually works because it's a reference to the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
Great Ape. Those are awesome additions to the game. And they take up so much space. It's ridiculous.
The Harambe transformations are good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I agree with all that. That's pretty good stuff. Anyone want to add on?
Yeah. Me personally, I do. Any favorite additions, I will say in Budokai Tenkaichi, especially 3, is the customization. And of course, the variety of characters, not in quantity, but just like different series from like Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball GT. But the customization in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is kind of broken in my opinion, because I made the most broken King Vegeta. I almost made him as OP as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Almost as broken. So I do like those aspects they had in those games. Did people mod? They modded Raging Blast. The second
No,
one,
like in the Budokai Tenkaichi series.
Oh, there are.
Oh.
I've seen some very
yeah,
strange
like in
things.
Raging Blast. Like I seen not too long ago a Super Saiyan God mod for
Budokai
Vegito.
Infinite.
They put Zamasu and Beerus in the game at one point, even though
Yes, they did.
they wouldn't even exist by that point.
Yeah.
There's one guy I want to say, but I can't say his name on air.
Oh, I know what you're
Oh,
talking
the president.
about. Yeah, they made a mod of
They
him.
did a mod where the president, the current elect president, you know who, Mr. T, fused with Zamasu.
That would be, if that actually happened in real life, it would be the OP fusion ever.
We're all dead if that happens.
Literally.
United States, I barely knew you.
I mean, we were dead without the fusion, but man, with the fusion, but by Mars too.
By universe.
Yeah.
We'll build a wall around Mars.
Yeah, Beerus doesn't have shit on him.
The universe can kiss. You can kiss it goodbye.
Oh man. So we're gonna move on to number 8. So who wants to read this off? Owen? Me? Oh,
What
dude.
has been your favorite attack to see in the Dragon Ball game?
Mr. BOC already did it
Well,
for us.
that's that.
Hold the loaf, Brandon.
Savage.
So yes, what is
All
your
right.
favorite attack?
Favorite attack? I will have to say Big Bang. And, well, I like the one where he does it to, which Android is that? Android 16? It's just great. The scene is great itself, so the move is so iconic.
Was it
16? No, you mean wait? Was it in GT?
No, the fat
13.
Android.
Oh,
Yeah, 13.
Android.
19?
Android 19.
No, hold on. What movie are you talking about? First of all.
No. It's when Vegeta like fights the fat android and rips
Oh,
his arms
Android.
off.
And then he shoots him. Yeah, that's the first time you see Big Bang attack.
Yeah, that's the first time you see it. That's why that move stuck with me because it's so iconic. I don't remember the android's name because it's so fucking many
It
at
was
this
19.
point.
19.
Yeah, Android 19.
Okay. So,
Rose number 20.
so that and when he does the final flash, that move is fucking cool because I like the fact that when it first was done, the beam comes off the planet and that was integrated into the games. So those two moves are my favorite moves to see. And I guess maybe a rushdown attack would be which Trunks is this in the game? He's wearing Vegeta's outfit.
Oh, it's future
Final
Trunks.
Heat
That's
Dome?
Future Trunks.
The one,
Yeah.
the long-haired
Final
one.
Heat Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, long hair Trunks.
Well, he has one rush down where he's just like he rushes you down and he just starts beating the crap out of you.
There's High Speed Rush. There is Burning Rush, something like that. But I think you mean High Speed Rush.
High speed rush. He does this also in base. So both of those moves, I think when he's in Super Saiyan, it looks a lot better because he just throws you around and shit. That's what makes
Grab
it
is
look
really
cool.
good too. He like uppercuts you in the stomach like 10 times, then he smashes you away.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. So those moves in particular, they look really nice. And I would say maybe they can bring, Black Kamehameha in the future games.
Xenoverse has it.
It has it already?
Yes,
Yep.
if you have Goku Black, you can do perfect Black Kamehameha.
Oh man, that makes me happy.
Well,
I
already
want
have
that
an answer for
DLC.
the next.
I
It
want that
looks
DLC.
super cool. I swear to God. when you
I
use it.
believe they're
Just
going
sucks
to
they don't have
add
any
Black
Super
for
Saiyan
everybody in the future because he's pre-order right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's supposed to be for everybody in the next DLC.
He was day one only, from what I remember.
Or for now, that's
For now,
that's
yeah.
not permanent.
So, who wants to go
I wanna
next
go
for
next.
favorite moves? Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, for my favorite tags in the games, it varies from game to game. So we'll start with Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Hands down, it's 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha. That
Oh, yeah.
alone, the explosion, he destroys the planet. Nothing can top that, at least the cinematics at least. Now, I'm going to fast forward to the Raging Blast games. It varies from the Super Saiyan characters like Goku in Super Saiyan 3, Gohan with his father-son Kamehameha, and others. Because the cinematics they incorporated, I like the fact they took it from the show and just made it, technically better looking, considering what we got. So, and what else? I will say the Black Kamehameha as well from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And that's it.
I'll take a shot at it. Let me think. It's an easy one. The fucking Spirit Sword is awesome. That has always been one of my favorite moves that Vegeto's pulled off.
Fingering,
Get out.
Oh my
If
god.
I had to pick another one, Final Kamehameha, which is also in Xenoverse 2, and you can get it as a custom move, looks awesome. It looks just
wait
like
for
Super.
Vegeta Blue.
It's just like Super. The other one, I guess I'll pick a Rushdown move since I haven't done that. Rushdown move would have to be Gogeta's Ultimate Impact. It was in.
Stardust Breaker.
No, this is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Whoops.
Oh.
The one where he dashes at you with his arms folded and then he's already behind you and he does like 30 hits like a machine gun and you don't even know what happened. Yeah, that one's my favorite.
Doesn't he like smash you in the ground at the end?
Yeah, he's behind you and he kicks your head.
Definitely remember that one, yeah.
Do is fast. Now think about it. Jesus.
So, anyone else?
What a
Favorite
Dragon
moves?
Fist.
Yeah,
Mine-
That's a double shamble.
this doesn't really apply to the later games that just came out, but going back to the PS2 ones, For Budokai 3 and for the Tenkaichis, I'd have to say I really enjoyed seeing Super Dragon Fist. I just thought like having the dragon just kind of just form and kind of whirl its way around and then just swallow the enemy. I thought that was really cool. Although in Budokai 3, I didn't like how Goku would do the Spirit Bomb as a Super Saiyan and then absorb it and then do the Dragon Fist, because that's not how he does it. But in Tenkaichi 3, what's up?
That's overpowered. Absorbing the Spirit Bomb and doing Dragon Fist? You might kiss your
for some
body
reason
goodbye.
because for some reason he would do the Spirit Bomb, and being a Super Saiyan, he couldn't control it or something, so he would just absorb it and then do the Dragon Fist. Although it was cool, it just wasn't really representative of the show.
If you think that's weird, then look at what Trunks did in Super when he killed Zamasu.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was crazy.
Spirit
That's
Sword.
stupid, man.
Fucking
Someone-
Spirit Bomb.
He was
Spirit Sword,
watching
whatever the
Yu Yu
fuck it was.
Hakusho.
It was cool, but it was stupid because Trunks is like he kept getting beaten up, and all of a sudden he comes up for the 20th time, and almost starts crying and just kills him with one slash.
I actually am okay with the Trunks killing him. I don't agree with the way he did it
Well,
because
he
he kind
didn't kill him
of.
technically.
Well, you know what I mean. I think it was okay because Zamasu killed Bulma, which is his mom, so he kind of deserves revenge.
No,
Yeah.
my dad. Well,
Yeah, I definitely think it's okay. My only problem was that, being that they brought Vegito into it and, only had him make an appearance for, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Oh, that
And
did.
then,
fit me.
after that, then they had Trunks, be the one to defeat Zamasu. I thought that if it was just Goku and Vegeta fighting him and, there was no Vegito, and then, Trunks was the one that came in at the end, I would have been perfectly fine with that. But the fact that Vegito couldn't defeat him in, whatever time he was on, and then they had Trunks come in and just beat him like that, I don't know, it was a little rushed to me, I guess.
But I guess we could jump back on moves. So did you say yours already, SSJ?
Yeah, I did the Super Dragon Fist. And also I like seeing Big Bang Attack. I thought that was
I like-
cool too.
I like all the moves that look badass if you use them as finishing moves. Like, for example, just for a regular super move, if you use Frieza's Death Beam last minute, just like that tiny ass little thing kills him. You can imagine it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think what Cena was. I forgot what it was because I don't remember anything from the Frieza saga anymore.
Is it where he shoots Vegeta in the chest?
Yes,
Yeah.
it feels just if you just think of it like that and you finish him off, finish any enemy you have just like that. It's pretty badass. And also hits Xenoverse 2 Molotov attack.
Oh, the time skip.
Yeah, that is really really cool.
Yeah, and going back to
I-
what you said about finishing people off, for Xenoverse too, I would say I really like using Super God Fist to finish somebody off.
Oh
That was
god.
really cool.
No, because for Molotov cocktail is like shit.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
1-inch punch that then time stops and then goes through a series of hits.
Yeah,
It's very hard to land though.
super hard, but it's awesome if you can finish someone off with it.
Of course, I will mark out online if I hit someone with that an attack that I know is impractical.
Oh, there was one more I forgot actually. I just thought about it. There's this move that Mira has. It's called the Serious Bomb. Man, that thing hits like a truck. It's an uppercut, and if they get hit by the uppercut, they're screwed. They can't dodge it. They're stuck flying away, and then they get hit by the ball, and they just get wrecked.
Yeah.
Speaking about moves, did they ever fix 20 times Kaioken Kamehameha?
What was wrong with it? I have to remember.
I would hit him once, and before I get to hit him with a Kamehameha, they just run away.
Oh, you can charge it now, so you can wait before you fire it.
Like
You
I wouldn't
get-
know.
you get- you get
I
to
wouldn't
time it.
wait. I hit him, and as soon as I blast it, they just run out of there.
It works with the beam moves work with the right setup.
Did they also fix Super Dragon Fist? Because I know if you tried to, use that at the end of a combo, the enemy could just roll out of it.
Yeah, they fixed it. You can't get out of it now if you do it the way you're supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a patch.
All right. So anyone have any other questions for number 8, or we can move on?
Well, yeah, actually, I had one thing to add.
Bud?
Well, actually, I had one more thing to add.
Okay.
Well, probably the favorite attack is from Tenkaichi 3, which was the Devil Beam, because the thing is that it only works on evil characters and it's an insta-kill move. So for
Oh,
example,
snap.
if you used it like on Omega Shenron or Frieza, it would kill them instantly, while characters like Goku or Kid Goku wouldn't be affected by it at all, because it's supposed to be canon with the show, which I thought was kind of cool.
What about you, Nico?
I know someone already said it, but the father and son Kamehameha from Ranger Blast 2, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. They also have Bros Kamehameha from like the Broly movie.
Yes, that's in the Raging Blast games.
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was in the actual movie when that happened. Like I was fucking speechless.
They should
That's
have
so
one with
epic.
Goku, Gohan, and Goten. That would have
Dude.
been like the moment right there.
Probably the most brutal one is like the Android 1718 one, where they just barrage you with energy blasts until you're dead.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I
did that to
remember that one.
Gohan.
Yeah.
Dude, they need to shut up, Brendan. They need to bring back the father son Gallic gun. They need to put that in the game. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Xenoverse 2 can
Now
make
it's
it
rememberable
happen.
as Father Son.
yes. So let's move on to number 9. I'll read this. So, who is your favorite character to play with in the Dragon Ball games? Trunks. Trunks for me, no contest.
God
I
damn
really
it.
like Trunks. He's great.
You stole it.
Black.
But yeah, he's just the way he has like I liked in the older games too. He had like I think it's still consistent in Xenoverse where he has like the other form where he fights without the sword and the
Yeah, he
form where
does.
he fights with it. Yeah, that's I love playing with the sword. It's just fucking great.
I think in his Super, they changed it now. So if it's the sword with Super Saiyan form, he uses the sword for most of his combos.
Oh, dude, I can't.
Even regular, he uses more of his hands and feet.
Yeah, I liked when he had hand to hand after he finished training in the hyperbolic time chamber when they put his character into Tenkaichi 3 because really felt like when you were fighting someone, he was mature. He learned his craft. He learned his shit in there, and it really fit into his fighting style. So fighting with the sword, without the sword, it was a great touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
like going from pretty much all the Dragon Ball Z games, Trunks was always. I thought he had pretty well done combos.
Mr. BMC said Hercule. Oh man,
It is the best.
If
I
you
mean-
win with Hercule, you're the best, hands down.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm those people who only play a game for a certain amount of time and then move on to the next game. So when a friend comes over, it's like, oh, I've never played Dragon Ball before. Don't worry, I'll go easy on you. He'll catch up to me in like 2 hours. So he'll choose an OP character and I know I'm going to lose. So I'll say, I'll go easy on you. And I'll choose Hercule and he'll beat me. It's like, oh, you son of a bitch, you went easy on me. He's the
You're
best.
just, you're
But
just
best,
trolling
you
on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Hercule's always a fun joke character on the way.
Especially in Tenkaichi 3. Like, if you do his ultimate, it doesn't work all the time.
I had a friend pick Beerus in Xenoverse, and I choose Hercule, and all I did was throw rocks at him, so he would never get close to me at one bit. Of course, he beat me, but I just kept throwing those pebbles at him and kept throwing them.
I'm gonna stone you to death.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyone else? Any favorite
I'm one of
characters?
Yes.
For me, this should be obvious, is Gogeta and Vegito. The fusion. That's all you need, and that's all I want.
What about you, Mr. Kaneki?
Oh, you already know. You already know. This is
Black.
name
Black.
is Goku Black.
baby.
Before his fucking thing was revealed, which was stupid.
Oh, man.
That's gonna have to be another discussion entirely.
Yes.
But
so far,
anyone
I still
else?
like the character.
I'll go. I have a few, actually. I kind of get around a bit. Other than Trunks, because Trunks is obvious. His Trunks is hype.
Yes, he is.
Broly is actually really fun. I tied between Legendary and his regular Super Saiyan form, the one where he has the blue hair.
Yeah, but
Really?
for some
I like
reason,
some of his moves.
Yeah, for some reason you rarely see them in the games.
Let me think.
Yeah, that sucks.
There's him. Super 17's fun, especially his fucking broken machine gun. Oh my god, Hellstorm is busted.
Oh, God. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
They actually borked the audio on that move for one of the Tenkaichi games. I think it's 2.
I think it was
Where it's 2. I remember It's extremely loud. Each hit is they screwed up the audio for that, so it's kind of ear rapey, but it's awesome. Super Boot, just because of his human extinction move. I think it's called Assault Rain in Xenoverse.
Yeah, I think so too.
And who's the last one I have to pick? Screw it, Yajirobe. Before you laugh, in Tenkaichi 3, he's actually good. His sword moves are actually OP.
He's pretty good. I will admit that. He's pretty
Yeah.
Even though he sucks at flying.
Well, yeah, but you can always put the capsule.
Yeah, you could.
good. He's fatty though. That's all.
He's just
His ultimate's cool as shit, though.
Yeah, wasn't it like a reference to the show?
No, his ultimate is just a series of really fast slashes, and then he finishes you off with the big one.
Yeah, I think that's a reference to when Vegeta was trying to go up to him and he slashes him a bunch of times, but he misses, and then he only slashed him once.
Oh, now I remember why I liked playing as Broly. Friggin' Omega Meteor, or whatever his ultimate is for Legendary.
Gigantic.
I forgot what it was. Yeah, Gigantic Meteor. There we go. That move is awesome. But those are my favorites.
all right. So we got like 3 more questions left in the doc.
Like, I just jump in quick.
But
Oh, go ahead.
For me, it's really like kind of game specific. But I have to say for Budokai 3, for those of you that played Budokai 3, Kid Buu was just absolutely fucking nasty in Budokai 3. His combos were so fast, and he could easily chain them just over and over again. His moves I thought were pretty indefensible, especially that one where he would kind of like jump and then go into a ball and then spin and come at you. You can really do anything unless you sidestepped it, but you have to time it perfectly.
Can you still do that move where like he puts his foot through the ground and hits the opponent?
That's in his combo
That's
for
in-
Xenoverse.
Oh,
That's in
yeah.
Tenkaichi as well.
From our
Oh, is it?
Budokai 3.
Yeah, Kid Buu.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he could do that in Raging Blast as well. He
But
could stretch his
continue.
arms for the signature attack, and he could do the leg thing in mid combos.
Continue, SSJ.
Oh yeah, but for I don't know, for Xenoverse 2, I like using Goku Black. Even though I don't know how to really explain him in Xenoverse 2. I kind of just like the fact that his super attacks, you can easily chain them in the combos. Like they're all pretty much melee attacks. So you could just hit somebody with a quick combo and then do a super attack, or hit someone with a quick stamina break and then kind of just do a barrage of super attacks and then finish it with Black Kamehameha or whatever it's called.
All right, so we're gonna
and
move
also
on.
Future Gohan is good too.
Yeah, Future Gohan. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like
yes.
he has the special.
You talking
ability.
about Ultimate
Yeah.
Gohan?
Yeah.
Or
No, Future. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
oh, is that when he's wearing the purple suit?
No.
The Namekian clothes?
Future is
He's
wearing
wearing
Goku's
Goku's
clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ultimate Gohan.
Like
No,
one
it's
thing
no,
I-
it's
Yeah, but
Gohan
not
wears-
Ultimate Gohan, but Future Gohan, the one
The one that
has an X on
Android
his
killed.
cheek. He has an X on his cheek.
One arm Gohan.
Oh, I'm stupid. I don't know why I was
Visual.
getting mixed up. Shut up. Touch your face. You can go play as your one-armed king over there.
Although I wonder how he would play if they really only put him in the game with one arm.
Actually, he's really.
They should have
really
done
good
that in the
Raging
first
Blast,
place.
In Raging Blast, he only has one arm.
No, in Raging Blast, he's really good. Like,
Oh, he's
Xenoverse
really
is
good in
stupid.
too.
They kept his arm, even though he doesn't
Yeah,
use it.
Xenoverse, they kept it. His both arms, which was
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, some other games do that too. I think Budokai Tenkaichi does it
That
as
was
well.
one of them too.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
I think that's just save time.
probably so.
yeah, like one of the things I really like with Future Gohan is that when he does his moves one hand, like he does the one-handed Kamehamehas,
Oh, I
or the
think-
one-handed Masenkos.
They called it, what is it? One-handed Kamehameha Mark II or something like that. That's the official name.
Yeah, I always thought those looked really cool.
All right, so we got like about 3 more questions here. So I'm gonna have Mr. James read off number 10.
Alrighty. Do you think there's a particular arc that should be introduced into this franchise that wasn't covered yet, and why? You mean like from the story or from in the games? Obviously, only.
From the story to the games. I think Future Trunks will be pretty cool to explore in Xenoverse, maybe. Especially with the fact that Xenoverse is about going back and rewriting history and seeing events change. So I think that would be good to see events unfold in the timeline, future timeline, and the current timeline, because there's that time travel arc that is very convoluted. So they could change some stuff there. So that's one arc that I would like to see in particular for the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series.
Yeah, can we get Murder apparently? No.
Yes, he is going to. He's supposed to be in the game.
Yay.
Even with all those
Sam
crazy,
Wilson stuff.
yeah, even with all those crazy moves and shit.
I assume so.
Yeah,
I
because
imagine he'll be.
he probably OP in my opinion.
To be
But that's
fair,
one-
your custom characters can be pretty overpowered if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured as much.
I accidentally turned mine into a god tier, so.
But anyone
Yeah,
else
we
have
could-
any questions about this?
Okay, I have a question. Who is the red dude on the cover of Raging Blast 2? The big red guy who's supposed to be evil?
Hachiya.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he's from an OVA called Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, which
I wouldn't
was
mind him. He's not in Xenoverse at all.
Yeah, he's not canon either, so it doesn't matter regardless.
Yeah.
Well, they have a million non-canon characters in Xenoverse 2.
But
They have a
Xenoverse
really
doesn't
big
have any
roster.
canon, so-
Yeah,
Yeah.
what makes it like it would be cool to see more original characters than just recycle ones from the movies.
Yeah, he seems like he's appreciated, so I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
seeing him.
in the movie though, he's stronger than Broly in movie 8, so
That
that's
is
something.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, you can't hurt him at all unless he opens up after doing an attack or before doing an attack. Which one was it? But the point is, you can't hurt him at all.
Wasn't it during the attack that they did it because they all like went in?
Oh,
on-
yeah.
It was
They counted.
after the fact.
It was after.
Yeah, after he did perform the beam attack, they joined together and then did a beam struggle.
Yeah, and then
To
they
beat him.
overpowered him. Yeah.
The point is, you can't hurt him unless he's doing that. Not in the game, obviously, but that's what makes him so strong. It was so cool.
Yeah, he sounds very underrated.
Yep.
I actually did like that.
Oh, yeah.
OVA. The
It was
beginning
pretty
of the
good.
bullshit was
The
retarded
best,
though.
the
It-
best, the
It
best.
really
Sorry.
it
go
bothered
ahead.
me though because when they remastered it for Raging Blast 2, they just colored all the blast blue for the good guys. So when Vegeta did a final flash, it was blue.
The best part about that character is you unlock him after you watch the
Wait,
OVA.
then. Oh, sorry, I didn't cut you off. But then Vegeta had like a greenish blue Final Flash in Super Saiyan 2.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I think.
But this
I
was
think-
like pure blue, like Kamehameha blue, like so blue. I think Gohan's when Seiko was blue too, and so
Yeah,
was
no,
Special Beam Cannon.
Yeah, no, that stuff needs to be
that's-
yellow.
Oh, that's dumb.
Well, actually, Kamehameha isn't even supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be yellow. In the manga, it was drawn that way, but for some
Yeah.
reason, in the show they turned it to blue. I guess.
I don't mind the blue.
Fit the colors, I guess. I don't know.
I think it was because they tried to establish that like base form key energy looks blue for like Saiyans, I guess, or humans. I don't know, something like that.
Blue.
Yeah, like actually in Xenoverse, all the Saiyans base forms is charging is blue for some reason.
Yeah.
Which I kind of don't like. I wish you could change it like in Raging Blast 1.
And 2, because you could give them like plasma auras to give them electricity effect and whatnot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So for the question, does this include like movies or just kind of the arcs from the show?
Ren?
Because technically, it wouldn't be canon in the movie.
I think it could be both.
It could be both.
Yeah. Yeah, but at this point, really all they've got to explore is maybe the super arcs.
Yeah.
Well, also in Xenoverse 2, they always put so much work into movie characters. But what if they did the movies with canon characters going inside?
I mean, yeah, it's a great
Nice.
concept and all. They just actually need to execute it. That's the problem.
Because I would really like to see BoJack again.
Oh yeah, he's in. I forgot about him. Yeah, well, he's not in Xenoverse either.
Yeah, like they
He's
all.
not?
Nope.
Wait,
Nope.
who's not?
Bojack.
None of him
that
or
was
his
true.
cronies are in Xenoverse.
That was
Yeah, like the only ones that ever appear in the games are him and Zangia, I think.
Usually,
They were in Tenkaichi 3, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
it's 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah,
Raging Blast 2.
Yeah.
Those two were in it.
Raging Blast 2 had all the movie characters, didn't it?
I believe so. No, except for Hirudegan, obviously.
2.
Yeah.
I know in Tenkaichi 2 they introduced Hirudegarn.
Yeah.
He was playable in 3 also, right?
Yeah, that's when they started
Yeah.
to put more giant characters and even what if ones like Grade 8 Nappa and Radix and Bardock and Falsha.
So
That's another thing I wish they would add is more of like Bardock's like Saiyan friends.
or Harambe's, yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and also, even though it was just recently done, I would kind of like for them to explore like more Bardock and his relationship with Goku's mom, because I know they recently did a manga on Goku's mom, but I didn't read it.
Dragon Ball
but-
Minus, I think.
Yeah, but just like more like Bardock and even the that OVA that came out where he was the first Super Saiyan apparently.
Yeah, and he the story with his first Super Saiyan is that he had so much power that he blew up the planet, and obviously Saiyans cannot survive in space. So I guess they could expand on that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of contradictions behind that as well.
Oh, I know,
Like
definitely.
the most recent one was in Battle of Gods where Goku is in orbit fighting bears.
Oh yes, I remember that too. They contradicted themselves there. But I guess that's one of the things they could do. Is they can go back into the lore of some comics or some stuff that they haven't done yet, and try to make that a what if scenario in the games.
Yeah, because I don't think Lord Chilled is in any game
Oh really?
except for Dokkan
Yeah.
Battle.
Isn't that like the little Frieza guy that was in Bardock's OVA?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's what I
guy.
was trying to say. Like he was, it was because of Bardock that Frieza was so scared of Saiyans because he Chilled passed down that message to his family.
Oh yeah,
that
okay,
makes
I remember
sense.
that. Yeah. So
Also, give us the name of Frieza's race.
the Freezer race. That's it.
Which is nice.
alien motherfuckers. That's the name.
That's literally what they call it in Xenoverse 2, the Freezer race.
The ice race.
That's the ice race.
I'm pretty
Frozen.
sure at some point
Ice
Toriyama's
Race.
gonna name him.
Yeah,
Probably
the refrigerator race.
alien nigga senpai.
He probably
Yeah.
did.
Fridge race.
He's just keeping it secret, like what he did with Android 18 and 17.
Secretly
Nah.
waiting for Ice to be announced.
Icy.
Alright. All right, so I think we can move on to question number 11. What is your favorite visual / gameplay mechanic to see in Dragon Ball fighting games? This is easy for me. I mean, destroying the planet, pretty awesome to see that destruction, that level of intensity in a match when you're doing it. As far as visuals, I mean, I guess the cell shaded graphics really work for the old Budokai games. I enjoy
Yeah.
them. It really gave it that flair that this is actually like, oh shit, it looks like it's something from the anime, the way they animated that style. And like cell shading, that style to me is very, very awesome. So I'm glad they applied it there.
Yeah.
Right.
Like one thing I really liked were like the auras they had in the Budokai games. Like with Super Saiyan 4, you could see the red aura and lightning coming out of it. Same
Yeah.
with Super Saiyan 2.
I think that's Fire Aura. Super Saiyan 4 has as well.
The way it looks fucking incredible. Even in the Tenkaichi games, it looks very impressive when you
Oh.
power up.
What is it? You know, one effect I want to see again is Gogeta's like sparkle effect with his aura, because he had it when he fused in GT.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it had something to do with his move, Stardust Breaker.
No, you remember you know how Super Saiyan God has those sparkle effects, right?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has that as well when he fused together and his aura was like brimming and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had like the same sparkle effect.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't bring that back. It looks pretty godly.
Yeah.
What about you other guys?
Zenkai Battle. Just bring Zenkai Battle to America. Have you seen that game?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that
Well-
arcades are kind of dead in the U.S., so I don't know how exactly
Can
that
we
would
get-
work.
I know. It's like they
Can we
built
get some
custom
sample
firmware.
normally?
Just
And go on.
Zenkai Battle is they went totally opposite from making it look anime and just made it look as realistic as possible. The only bad thing is it's not fast paced at all. It's very slow.
Yeah.
You have to
But,
wait for the last minute, or the charging takes really long, or you only can do combos at certain times. It's
But BMC, your favorite like visual or mechanic in a fighting game that you would like to see in the Dragon Ball games again?
so the visuals of Zenkai Battle, obviously,
Hmm.
and probably the mechanics of I want to say Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or Raging Blast 2, where they keep it even for everybody. But if that sounds really stupid, so let's just keep it with Budokai Tenkaichi 3 because I've only played that very few times, but when I have played it, it was. Sorry,
It was great.
my mic. Yeah, my mic is going off. My mic is going off. I see it.
A man can
well,
dream.
Yeah, they can. Wasn't Budokai Tenkaichi 3 the one where you had to press like a bunch of buttons for quick time events to do fusions or something like that?
That was Budokai 2.
Budokai 2?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
there's no quick times in Tenkaichi.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Budokai too, because when you feel the fusion, you become either skinny or fat.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah, I want them to like okay, Zenkai Battle Motion with Budokai Tenkaichi 3 fighting, but I want them to add an option to let you turn off that quick time event or not, because I actually liked it. It was really, really funny and cool, especially when people failed and they try to beat me up.
Oh yeah, it was definitely funny. Like if you were playing against some like your friend or something. But if you were more like serious and then you fucked up, like you were pretty mad. But then again,
Oh.
it's your fault that you fucked up.
Oh no, I can't. I'm not that serious, so I'll load it either way. But no way, Zenkai Battle Tenkaichi is gonna come.
So, any more questions for number 11?
Yeah, I'd like to just say a couple of things.
Go ahead.
I don't think they have them in the late games, but I really like the beam struggles that they had.
Oh
I
yeah,
hate that
those
they
are
don't
pretty
have those
Yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah,
which-
they don't have those anymore.
Yeah, like the beam struggles were really cool in Budokai 3, where the screen, the background were darkened a bit, and then
Yeah,
would
man,
see you'd see the beams in full detail.
I mean, then the screen would start shaking a little bit.
Yeah,
Then your hands hurt when you have to spin the stick.
Yeah, those analog sticks back in the day, though. Yeah.
yeah, doing that on a PS2 analog stick hurt like hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little off topic, but I don't want to, so I'm just not gonna say anything. But and
I
then
got
another
one
thing I
more
would
thing
like
to
to
add.
see is I don't know if you guys remember, but they had those kind of if you use like a charge, like I think it was R1, would make you do like a heavy kind of like charge attack that would send the opponent flying.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the Budokais. And when you would do it at the same time, like you and the other person, you would kind of go into like this little burst. I think it was called burst mode or something like that,
Yeah.
where you would have to roll the analog stick and, you were constantly just going back and forth. But eventually, if you rolled the analog stick more than the other person, the tides would turn and the camera would kind of rotate. And then, you would just hit the other person away. But I thought that was cool. Because in Xenoverse 2, I think they tried to add that again, but it's kind of too. It happens too often. When you
The
punch
thing
at
where
same
you
time
two
another
clash,
person punches,
yeah.
it happens way too
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
All it does is give you a bar of ki for both of you if you both do it.
Because you both
Yeah.
attack at the same time.
I like the way it looks. At least it's fast.
Yeah, definitely. But also, for those of you that played Budokai 1, I don't know if you remember that the one mission where you were Piccolo and you had to charge up the special beam cannon
Yes.
Yeah,
to beat your Raditz. I don't know about you guys, but that shit left a hole in my hand.
That was
yeah,
easy.
it was. Just,
To me, it was.
it
easy.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Well,
it's definitely easy for me now, but just back when I was like 5 years old, 4 or 5, playing that game, it was kind of hard for me.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, it seems kind of weird. That's the only time in the game that you do a mini game in the story mode.
Yeah. But real quick though, there's one thing I want to add to this. If there's what if scenario I want to see is Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan Blue. I want to see that I don't care who wins. I don't care what fanboys would do. I just want to see that as a what if scenario.
Or we could
Because it's not going
have
to be canon regardless.
Super Saiyan God 4 blue, and then the world blows up.
Well, if they had that in Super, I'll die happy.
Super Saiyan God Blue, bro.
Super Saiyan God 4
Oh,
2 divided by 6.
I'll bring it up after the podcast because it is Dragon Ball related.
All right, so
Man, they could bring some Dragon Ball Hero stories.
go ahead, SSJ. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And I was just gonna say, I think with the Kaioken, that Super Saiyan Blue might edge out Super Saiyan 4, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, he can do Kaioken as well as Super Saiyan 4, so it could go both ways.
Can he? Did he do that before?
I think it. Well, can he go? I'm pretty sure he could with the time.
Research.
So.
I honestly, I don't
I
remember.
mean, I wouldn't be
if he did or not.
surprised if he can really. I mean, come on, it's Goku. He can do anything.
I would have liked to see it, but GT. So it's like
And also the fact that the way Vegeta got Super Saiyan 4 in GT was kind of bull. Like that's so uncharacteristic of Vegeta. Like he's the one that trains and does everything by himself, not have to use a machine to.
Well,
get
considering
Super
the
Saiyan 4.
circumstances, I can't blame the guy.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand.
He's desperate.
That, too. That was desperate times call for desperate measures.
Also, only in Fusions does Super Saiyan 4 have a Kaioken, so it's never been done outside of that.
interesting. All right, so I guess we can move on to number 12 if we're good. So to close off this podcast, is there a what if scenario in your mind that the games could take and utilize that you would like to see story wise? Mine's a bit of a joke, but of course, Goku fusing with Hercule, the best fighter ever created. Guys, come on, you want it. Throw your money at the
don't.
screen.
Yeah, I got one.
Throw the panties at the screen.
Mine to me is the what if scenario. What if Super Saiyan God Blue was Vegito actually defeated Samatsu instead of Trunks?
Damn it, you stole it.
Yeah, but the outcome would have been the same. Bali Zamasu come in and body everybody.
Duh.
I'm trying to think of a good one actually outside of my joke one. I really liked the stuff with the androids. Like I would have liked to see a what if scenario if maybe Trunks died and future Gohan would have went like SSJ2. That would have been quite cool to see.
That's interesting.
Now I gotta think of a new one, you bastard.
Again, mine is not good at all. But what if Goku went Super Saiyan when King Piccolo killed Krillin?
Wasn't he like a kid?
Yeah, but the power of a Saiyan is through anger, and he was pretty angry.
So was
That's
Gohan,
true.
and he became Super Saiyan. So was Goten and Trunks, and they became Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's not possible. I was just trying to remember what age he was at that time.
Yeah, he was
Too
close.
young.
It was like,
Well, then again, it's stupid GT. He could become Super Saiyan 3.
That's a stupid. I mean, he learned to move. when
It's
he was
dumb
adult, so-
because in GT, in the show, his body can't maintain the form for more than like a few minutes.
That makes sense because he's a child. He can't maintain the stress.
In the
of
game,
Super
he
Saiyan
can
3.
stay like that all he wants.
It's a game. Don't question it.
I'd also like to question how did Goten and Trunks become Super Saiyans earlier than Gohan did?
I think I have a theory. It's because they had
Goku
kids
already
when they were.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Okay, yeah, that's the only plausible thing I could see. But
Their potential passed to them.
regarding
Yeah.
the question, I would have to say, what if Champa and Vados were evil essentially, and because they lost the Universe 6 tournament, they actually squared off against Beerus and Whis.
Oh, goodbye, every universe.
Yeah. But even if they destroy the universe, Whis would just turn back time.
Can't Vados do
Yeah,
that?
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, so this is an endless fight, basically.
yeah.
This is a
it
time
definitely
loop,
go down to the
really.
wire.
Endless battle.
I think Beerus might win, though.
Until Vadu and Whis realize they're not mad anymore, and they calm down their gods and leave.
Yeah,
or
like
so
have,
somebody brings in some ramen and everyone stops.
Yes, Beerus needs food.
have we even seen Beerus at full power?
No.
No.
I imagine that would
No,
be
yeah.
pretty scary, actually.
I bet that's gonna be like the last episode where Beerus and Goku
Oh.
just flashed it out full power. They're
I
just
got
gonna, like, bye bye people. That's the end of the episode end of Dragon Ball Super.
All right, I got this. All right, hear me out. I want to see what if scenario with Super Saiyan 3 Blue Vegito versus Beerus.
Oh,
That is what I
shit.
want, and no stupid time limit. Get this time limit nonsense out of here. Just like in Z, he's supposed to be stuck in the form forever, technically, but I'd prefer it without the timer.
Didn't
I want to see that.
Didn't Wiz say that if Goku and Vegeta work together, they could defeat Beerus or be on the same level as him?
They could potentially defeat him.
Would beat him.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to fuse. I don't think he said fusion. Just if
He
they
meant
work
he
together.
meant if they work together, yeah. But although I think
Yeah, but
Vegito would still work.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah,
if Gohan-
Gohan's definitely stronger than the both of them individually.
Super Saiyan. I wonder if someone's made a fan art of that. I'm gonna find it.
Probably.
Yo, oh my
Yeah,
god!
they
Like,
have
going back to
a
that,
lot.
I actually did see a upcoming kind of fan-made series of Super Saiyan Blue Vegito and Beerus squaring off.
It exists.
If I can find
Yep.
it, I'll send you guys the link. It's like, it was like
Okay.
a trailer for it.
All right. Can I have this? Hold on.
How about-
I need this.
Okay, yeah.
I need that.
It looks ridiculous.
I want it though. Looks hype.
Man, and Bulma is actually dead.
Okay, what if Gohan never stopped training?
He'd be a fucking monster.
He'd
By the
make
time-
Broly look like a bitch.
But by the time the Boo saga comes around, all those Boo minions that he had will be dead. Like by Gohan's hand.
Gohan,
I think he maybe he would have got God Key by then.
Yeah.
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 Unless of course the next arc is gonna give him Super Blue.
Wait a second. How did Vegeta get God Key? Because he didn't even do the ritual. And as far as I'm concerned, he can't go Super Saiyan Red either. So
That place that Whis sent them to train and made them learn to control their ki was pretty much
That makes
essentially
no
how they
sense.
got God Ki.
That was in the
that
show
makes
too.
no sense.
It,
Yeah.
it was in the show.
It makes no sense.
Brandon's like,
I agree.
Because
I totally
Goku
agree.
didn't have the God Ki. He just absorbed the power of the Super Saiyan God. He didn't.
didn't Beerus say he had some 1 in a million
Yeah,
bullshit?
but that made sense. He did the ritual and got the power from the red hair thing.
And it's an
And-
official
and
transformation.
Well, yeah, but then in order to get the God Ki like itself to turn into Super Saiyan Blue, he had to do the thing that Whis sent him to do.
And that makes sense though, because Goku had it from the start, but Vegeta didn't. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense.
Look, Vegeta always skips into the next thing. We all know this.
Well, Goku.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's kind of hard to explain because like Goku, he had the strength of the Super Saiyan God, but he didn't have the God Ki necessarily.
There's an
Um,
official transformation of Super Saiyan God without Super Saiyan. I think it's called something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, it's just all right. So Goku went Super Saiyan God, right?
Yeah.
And then it ran out or whatever, and he absorbed it. Like without the God Ki, he just got the strength he had when he was a Super Saiyan God. And then in order for Vegeta to catch up to that, remember he went to train with Whis without telling Goku. So he I don't know how many months it was. I think it was like 6 months. He was alone training with Whis, just getting stronger and catching up to Goku. Essentially, they were on the same level after that 6 months of training. Then Goku went to Whis, and then him and Vegeta started training, but they couldn't. Some of their ki was still leaking out, so they couldn't completely control their ki. So he sent them to that place where they could learn to control their ki and keep it from leaking out, which was essentially how they unlocked the God Ki, I guess.
And to further clarify, there are some things that the movies did not explain that is in the show. And it's weird because people sort of skipped over the arcs because of the animation, but there is extra plot exposition.
Yeah.
I don't say I would stick to the movies personally.
I don't know.
But,
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, I felt like some of the changes were like how in the Battle of God saga it kind of dragged out things a bit longer than it needed to be, and how Resurrection F kind of screwed over Gohan pretty bad.
Yeah, I didn't even want to hear Resurrection of F. I thought that arc was done terribly in Super, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
To end it off, I guess it's weird, but you need to go back and just watch those and you get better clarification of the story. But soon, I think we have to end this podcast because it's almost going over 2 hours. So it's
Yeah.
time to do these outros over here. So,
Wait.
Hmm?
I found something. I don't know if you guys knew about this. I'm trying to get the screenshot, but my computer, you know, I'm the guy with the crap top, so I'm trying to get it the screenshot on here. I do. I'm trying to go on a Wikia, and it's taking like 10 minutes for it to load. Hold on.
Well, can we do it off air? Because now it's going a little too long now.
Okay,
it
yeah,
is
you know what,
almost
go
2 hours.
You know what? Just go.
Yeah, so Mr. SSJ God, could you do your outro, please? Like, where can we find you, like, on social media?
YouTube, the Super Saiyan God, pretty much the same. I have the same username here that I have on YouTube. As far as Twitter, I don't have a Twitter, but I guess I could make one. But really, my only social media outlet is YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Mr. Brendan?
Twitter, YouTube, Arcade Magic 514. I got PS4, so yay. PS4 gameplay for one.
All right, Kaneki?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube under the same name, School War Order. And yeah, it's been an interesting podcast.
Drillbit, how about your outro?
Well, you can find me on Twitter as Drillbit777. It's been a good podcast so far. Really like this one.
Nico, what about your outro, man?
Twitter, Eternal Zilvin. Same for Snapchat. Same for Instagram. As for YouTube, is Nico the Real Eternal. And yeah, sorry for not talking really much for this one.
It's fine, man. Let's see, James.
You can find me on Twitter at DevHunterJames.
That's it. No YouTube figure, no Twitch.
I have no YouTube faggot.
Yes, you do.
What about your Twitch?
Well, I have 2 videos, but they don't do anything. All right, fine. Twitch.tv/AeroJames.
There you go.
You giant faggot.
Man, stream more.
What a bitch. Mr. BMC, what about you?
Or did everybody else go? Because I have a lot of stuff.
Yes, we all went.
Get the popcorn.
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube, mr.vmc, or youtube.com/user/mrbmc2, or my Twitch, not Mr. VMC, or my Twitter at mrbmc2. I also do a podcast channel of my own, a comedy one, called Interlounge. It's more comedy, so don't expect it to be like very linear as it is. I don't even understand what happens half the time, and actually, that's not as much as I thought I would say. That's it.
All right.
I probably forgetting something.
No Instagram?
Nope. I don't use Instagram. I don't use anything else. Just Twitter. Oh, and the Tumblr. But I don't know what my Tumblr is because I don't
boy.
take care of it. I have someone else do it.
Oh.
Snapchat, Kick, anything?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Don't use anything.
You need
All
that.
right. So you can find me on Pornhub. I Renegade Operative.
Pornhub.
Renegade Operative XXX.
Yeah,
But
receiving
seriously.
no blows.
That's also his Xbox gamer tag. So
Yes.
That's true.
But seriously, you can find me on Twitter at RenOperative_. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative. Recently just uploaded a analysis video on The Last of Us Part 2, so go check that out. Gonna be uploading this podcast pretty soon. This has been this Ensemble Cast at the TCP, signing off.
Can I,
And motherfucker, I see that in the chat. Look, I do not like COD, and we're gonna sign this off. So take care.
Can I say one more
also
thing?
do not like COD. Thank you.
Hold on. Can I say one more thing? When are you gonna do analysis on the PSX destroying Xbox?
I'll probably do a review on PlayStation Experience soon, and by COD I mean COD. Get your mind out of the gutter, and we will see you next time later.
And wait. I have one question for everyone.
Yes.
What?
Should I convert from Xbox to PS4?
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, convert the.
Is this a trick question?
Sony has games?
No, I'm being serious because pretty
No,
much.
I'm being.
No,
I'm being.
I find out
I
everyone I
both.
know has a PS4, and it's.
I would say
I feel like Xbox is forgotten.
All right. So
I've had both. I still have my Xbox, but my computer broke because of some person. I've had both. My Xbox freezes so much So many updates, and it can't even play disc games correctly.
So before we go into the game talk, I'm gonna sign off the podcast. So see you guys next time. Later.
Oh my god. So okay, the thing I was gonna mention before, there is a rumor that Broly might be in Super.